The thing you should never bring home from Thailand. The Frangipani curse. My name is David, 35, a freelance photographer from London. All my life, I've traveled around the world capturing luxury resorts and breathtaking landscapes for travel magazines. But this time, I didn't know that one assignment, a photo shoot in southern Thailand, would change my life forever. The resort I was sent to was in Phuket, a peaceful seaside property surrounded by lush gardens. It smelled constantly of flowers, a scent I didn't recognize. It was soft, creamy, hauntingly beautiful. The kind of scent that stays in your memory. I asked one of the resort staff, a woman named Pang, "What's that flower? Smells really nice." "Oh, that's Lanthom, sir. In English, we call it Frangipani." She smiled faintly. "Beautiful, but some people say it's unlucky." "Unlucky?" I raised my brow. "Thai people believe this flower belongs to the dead. You'll see it in temples, near cremation grounds." She laughed softly, brushing it off. "But that's just an old story." I didn't think much of it. The fragrance was too enchanting to ignore. Every evening, I walked around the resort garden with my camera, chasing twilight light. And on the last day, before heading home, I picked up a white frangipani that had just fallen by the path. Its petals were still damp, catching the glow of the garden lamps. I lifted it to my nose, inhaling deeply, then slipped it into my shirt pocket. "Nice souvenir," I muttered to myself. The flight from Bangkok to London took 12 hours. I dozed off halfway, and that's when the dream came. In it, I was back in the same garden, but the moonlight was deep red, and the Lanthom trees were swaying as if alive. A woman stood beneath one of them. She wore a traditional Thai dress, her long black hair covering half her face. In her hand, she held a pale flower, the same one I'd picked up. She whispered something in Thai that I couldn't understand, but her voice was so cold it sank straight into my bones. I woke up with a jolt just as the plane touched down. The flower was still in my pocket, but its petals had turned a smoky gray, like they'd been singed by fire. 2 days after returning to London, strange things started happening. That scent, the frangipanis, lingered in my room no matter how many times I cleaned it. I had thrown the flower in the bin, yet the smell grew stronger every night. Sometimes I heard a woman singing softly in a language I didn't understand, like a lullaby or a funeral chant. On the third night, I woke up gasping. The same woman from my dream was standing at the end of my bed. This time, I saw her face clearly. Her eyes were pure white, blood streaming from their corners as she whispered hoarsely, "Return the flower." I froze in terror. The entire room reeked of the frangipani's sweet, choking perfume. On my bedside table lay the same flower I'd thrown away, fresh again, as if it had just fallen from the tree. The next morning, I tried to reason with myself. Maybe it was stress, jet lag, exhaustion. Maybe I just imagined it. But there it was, the same flower. I picked it up. The once white petals were now dry and brittle, yet its scent was overpowering, almost nauseating. Not just floral, but something deeper, rotting, masked beneath perfume. I sealed it inside a plastic bag and threw it into the bin outside before heading out to meet my friend May, a Thai art student living in London. "You look awful, David." "Didn't sleep?" she asked. "Just nightmares and something weird." I told her everything. When I mentioned the Lanthom flower, her smile vanished instantly. "Where did you pick it from?" "At the resort in Phuket. It had fallen by the path. I just picked it up because it smelled nice." "You shouldn't have done that, David." Her voice trembled slightly. She set her cup down slowly. "Thai people believe Lanthom belongs to the dead. It's usually planted in temples, used in funerals. Some say spirits live in the trees, especially if someone died near them. That's just folklore, right? I don't believe in ghosts. Ghosts don't care whether you believe in them or not." I laughed it off, but deep down, a chill had already taken root. Because last night, I hadn't dreamed. I had seen her. That night, rain drizzled outside. I sat editing photos on my computer, listening to the soft patter on the window. Then another sound. Faint footsteps in the living room. Probably the house creaking, I thought. But when I glanced at the reflection in the glass, I saw a shadow. A tall figure with hair cascading to the floor. A frangipani tucked behind her ear, its petals glistening with water. I turned sharply, and the lights went out. Darkness swallowed the room. From that darkness came a soft, ghostly tune, a woman's voice singing in old Thai. "Sleep now, my dear one. Fear not." The voice was right next to my ear, the air filled with that suffocatingly sweet scent. I grabbed my flashlight. Nothing. But on the floor near my bedroom door were wet footprints, bare and leading straight inside. The room was icy cold, curtains swaying though the windows were shut. On my pillow lay another frangipani flower, its petals dry, ghostly pale. Shaking, I placed it into a box, opened my laptop, and typed, "Frangipani Ghost, Thailand." Dozens of results appeared. The flower, once called Lanthom, was long believed to bring sorrow because its name sounds like Latom, meaning suffering. And worse, some legends said Lanthom trees in temples housed Nang Mai, tree spirits, women who had died tragically beneath them. Those spirits guard their trees fiercely. Anyone who takes part of it, branch, leaf, or flower, must return it. The words made my blood run cold. I slammed the laptop shut, but the screen didn't turn off. Instead, it showed an image, me, asleep in bed, and beside me stood the woman in Thai dress. I nearly screamed. The room was empty, yet the smell was stronger than ever, thick as smoke. The next morning, I called May. "What do I do, May?" "She keeps coming back. She keeps saying to return the flower. You have to take it back where you got it," she said firmly. "What? Fly all the way to Thailand to return one dead flower?" "It's not just a flower, David. You took something that wasn't yours." Her tone shifted, quiet but heavy. "You took her offering." Her? I didn't dare ask. That night, I packed my bags. If I didn't do something, I knew she wouldn't stop. 12 hours later, I was back on a flight to Thailand. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face clearer, tears streaming, blood at her temples, clutching that same flower. Return the flower. When the plane landed in Bangkok, I thought it was over. But the small wooden box in my pocket pulsed faintly warm. When I opened it, the brittle petals inside had regained their color, as if alive again. I emailed Pang, the staff from the resort, asking to revisit for additional photos. Her reply was polite, but at the end of her message, she wrote, "Mr. David, if you still carry the scent of Lanthom, do not go near that tree at night." I didn't reply. I only had one goal, to return the flower once and for all. The resort looked the same, quiet, serene, and somehow emptier. Pang was waiting at the lobby, pale and uneasy. "You actually came back." "Yes, I have to return the flower. You shouldn't have come. It doesn't want you here." "It?" I asked. She hesitated. "Behind the resort, there's an abandoned temple. Wat Rang. The tree you saw is there. It's not ours. No one touches it. Everyone who tried got cursed." I tried to laugh, but my voice shook. "I don't believe in ghosts." "Those who don't believe," she said softly, "are always the first to see them." That night, I left my room with the box in hand. The air was thick, humid, unnaturally cold. The path to the temple was overgrown, the forest whispering with unseen things. The scent grew stronger with every step, sweet, dizzying, intoxicating. And then, silence. No insects, no wind, nothing but the sound of my heartbeat. There it was, the Lanthom tree, massive, easily 10 meters tall, its branches drooping over the ruins of an old brick hall. White petals covered the ground like a shroud. At its base stood a half-broken statue of a woman, her smile faint, eternally sad. I knelt before it. "I'm giving it back," I whispered. "I didn't mean to take it." I placed the box beneath the tree. The wind rose, wailing through the branches like crying voices. Then, the petals in the box moved. They began to stir and unfurl. I stumbled backward as laughter echoed from every direction. "You returned it, but why are you still here?" The voices came from everywhere, from every flower on the tree. I ran. The flashlight fell, rolling on the ground. In its flickering beam, I saw figures, women in tied dresses lining both sides of the path, each faceless, each holding a Frangipani. The scent grew unbearable, and there, ahead of me, was her, the same woman from my dream, pointing straight at me. It's too late. I tripped, hit the ground, and everything went black. When I awoke, I was back in the resort room. Pang sat beside me, eyes wide with fear. "You disappeared all night. We found you unconscious under the tree at Wat Rang. I returned it," I croaked. "Why isn't it over?" She shook her head. "Some things don't want the flower back. They want what you took with it." "What I took?" "Her spirit. You woke her by touching what was hers. Now she's bound to you. Her words hit me like thunder. Then how do I end this? Tonight, she'll come again. If you want to live, you must send her back yourself. That night, I didn't sleep. I listened to the soft thuds of petals falling outside. Plop, plop. Sometimes I heard laughter just behind the door. The scent hung thick in the air, sweet, rotten, suffocating. I finally understood. This wasn't just a ghost. It was something I had woken up. The next morning, Pang drove me to a small village 20 kilometers away. There, beneath a giant banyan tree, stood a wooden house, home to an old man known as a Mor Phi, a spirit doctor. He looked at me once and said, "Farang, the smell of death clings to you." I told him everything. He nodded gravely. The spirit in that tree, a Nang Mai. She died for love, strangled beneath the Lanthom 100 years ago. Her soul binds to it. She's not angry you took the flower. She's angry you took her across the sea. He placed a white cloth before me with ashes, dried petals, and the red knotted string. Tonight will return her spirit to her tree. You must stand beneath it again and call her name. But I don't know her name. She will tell you. That night the storm came. Wind howled through the trees as we returned to Wat Rang, the old man, Pang, and me. He drew a circle around the tree and began chanting. Pang lit 3 candles in a triangle. "Do not step outside the circle, no matter what happens," she whispered. I nodded, gripping the box tightly. The chanting grew louder. Wind swirled violently. The flowers began to fall in a white storm. Then, suddenly, the box in my hands trembled. Its lid burst open. The petals floated upward, swirling into the shape of a woman, soaked, pale, beautiful, and terrible. "You hurt me again." Her voice echoed inside my skull. "I'm sorry. I didn't know. I only picked it because it was beautiful. You took me far away, left me lost in the dark. Please, I'm returning you now." She stepped closer. The candles all went out. The chanting stopped. Wind became a scream. A cold hand gripped my throat. "To return me, you must give something in exchange." "What?" "Your blood." Before I could move, she slashed my arm with her long black nails. Blood spilled to the ground. I screamed, but the others kept chanting as if they couldn't hear me. The scent filled my lungs, choking me. My blood seeped into the soil beneath the lanthom, and then every flower on the tree bloomed at once, glowing white in the darkness. She smiled faintly. Tears streamed from her eyes. "I can go home now." Her body dissolved into petals, swirling around the trunk before vanishing into the wind. The candles flared back to life. I collapsed. The old man wrapped my arm tightly. "It's done," he whispered. "She's gone. Will I ever see her again?" "No one escapes what they touch, son. But you've paid with blood. She won't follow you anymore." Morning came after the storm. When I woke in my resort room, The wound was clean, no pain, just a faint scent of frangipani lingering in the air. Pang smiled weakly. She's gone. I saw it myself. All the flowers fell from the tree at 3 a.m. I nodded, though the silence around us felt unnatural, too still. That night, I stood on the balcony. A gentle wind brushed my face. A single petal drifted into my hand, white, scentless. I closed my eyes. Maybe she forgave me, but as I turned toward the mirror, I froze. In the reflection stood a woman in Thai dress, smiling faintly behind me. And then she was gone. Thai elders still tell this story to travelers who wander too close to temple trees. The Lanthom is beautiful, but beauty can be dangerous when it belongs to the dead. Remember this: not everything that falls is meant to be picked up.